Daniel was tall, pale-skinned, with black hair falling across his forehead. His red jacket stood out against the rainy night as he stepped off the bus into the empty countryside stop. The bus pulled away with a low roar, its red tail lights disappearing into the misty road until there was nothing but the hum of insects and the buzz of a single street lamp. Daniel looked around. The lamp's glow stretched only a few feet. Beyond that was just tree stall, black silhouettes bending in the wind. He adjusted his backpack, suddenly aware of how alone he was. And then he wasn't. At the edge of the light, a shadow moved. Ethan stepped into view. Tall, thinner than Daniel remembered, pale face half hidden under a dark hoodie. His grin spread unnaturally wide as he opened his arms. "Daniel," he said, his voice soft but sharp, like he had been waiting a long time. "I'm glad you came. Tonight will be unforgettable." The hug felt too strong, too desperate, but Daniel forced a smile. After all, it had been years. They started walking. Dirt roads stretched endlessly, their footsteps echoing against the silence. No cars, no dogs, no birds, only the crunch of gravel and the whisper of fields brushing against the wind. Daniel tried to fill the quiet with old jokes, stories from school, memories of summers past. But Ethan only nodded, smiled, and stared straight ahead. The further they walked, the heavier the air grew. It was damp, metallic, like breathing rust. Daniel pulled his red jacket tighter and shivered, though no breeze touched him. Finally, Ethan stopped. Before them rose an enormous old house, its roof sagging, its walls cracked, ivy crawling over windows like veins. Daniel felt a chill run through him, but Ethan's eyes gleamed with excitement. Inside, the house was alive with flickering candlelight. Dozens, maybe hundreds, lined the walls and floor, their flames casting tall, jagged shadows that seemed to breathe. A long table sat in the center, and around it were people, silent, unmoving, their eyes fixed on Daniel the moment he stepped inside. Their faces were pale, stretched too thin, their smiles wide and wrong. The table before them was covered with dishes, but each was hidden beneath black cloth. Nothing smelled of food. Ethan's hand pressed firmly against Daniel's shoulder. "You're the guest of honor," he said, almost reverently. Daniel gave a weak laugh. "Guest of honor? What's this? Some kind of game?" No one replied. The people leaned closer, their smiles growing wider, their eyes reflecting the flames like glass. Daniel's chest tightened. He turned to Ethan. "What is this?" Ethan leaned in close, his breath hot, his grin twisting. "It's family." The group stood as one. Chairs scraped across the wooden floor, the sound echoing like thunder in the candlelit chamber. Daniel stumbled back as they began to circle him, footsteps slow, deliberate. The candle flames stretched high, then bent sideways as if something unseen had entered the room. Shadows thickened, crawling up the walls, pooling around Daniel's feet. He tried to run, but Ethan shoved him back toward the table. His red jacket hit the wood with a dull thud. the flickering flames throwing warped silhouettes across his body. "Don't fight it," Ethan whispered, his voice trembling with excitement. "You came here willingly. That's why it has to be you." The whispers began, at first soft, then louder, layering over one another, until Daniel could hear his name being chanted from every corner of the house. His pulse hammered, the air pressed against his chest, heavy, suffocating. He gasped, clawing for breath, but the voices only grew louder. The figures leaned closer. Their faces seemed to change with every flicker, eyes hollow one moment, mouths stretching too wide the next, teeth too sharp, skin too pale. Daniel's mind raced. He tried to scream, but his voice caught in his throat. Ethan's face hovered inches away. His eyes were bottomless black, his grin splitting wider than humanly possible. "I told you, Daniel, unforgettable." The last candle sputtered, then went out. Total darkness. The whispers rose into a deafening roar, and then, suddenly, a single scream Daniel's tore through the night. It was cut short, smothered by silence so deep it swallowed everything. By morning, the bus passed the same stop. The lamp flickered. The roadside was empty again. The forest swayed quietly in the wind, as though nothing had happened. Daniel was gone, as if he had never been there at all.